What up, world? This notion that Kawhi Leonard has a bunch of pressure, and if he doesn't win the championship, basically NBA fans and pundits are going to be going off on him and ridiculing him. Listen, Kawhi Leonard is in a no lose situation. He's chilling. He just came off beating the Golden State Warriors. Even though Kevin Durant was hurt during that series, Kawhi Leonard still showed up as the Finals MVP. He has two championships under his belt. He is currently known as the greatest player in the world, debatably alongside with LeBron James and Giannis. Those three are up in the air. But Kawhi, right now he has the best case because he just came off a fresh championship, and he was the biggest impact player when it came to free agency. The spotlight was all up on him. Kevin Durant was a second because he did just tear his ACL. But even if they both were healthy, Kawhi Leonard had the most impact. And he's an impact player. He knows how to win. There's a stat that he has right now in his career, one of the highest percentages of winning games with the Spurs, the Raptors, now the Clippers in NBA history. So Kawhi Leonard, I have trust in him to where he can take you deep in the playoffs, to a conference finals, let alone a finals. And he just has the winning DNA. I have trust in him. He plays the right brand of basketball. Learning while playing in college and under the belt of Popovich and Nick Nurse. He had a huge say in when it came to that as well. So with Kawhi Leonard, if he were to lose to LeBron James and the Lakers, there's nothing bad that's on his rap. You lost to a top five player in NBA history. If he were to lose to the Milwaukee Bucks, I would start to, I would kind of bat an eye because I have the Clippers overwhelmingly would beat the Bucks in the finals. But I don't see that as the case to where they'll meet up. I think it's going to be the Lakers and the Bucks. But, we'll see here when it comes later down to September, October area, or whenever it starts. But really the question here is what's at stake for Kawhi Leonard during this restart? Really nothing. He has the load management. He has around 4 months of rest. Him and his team is there mentally focused and prepared. And I expect them to make a conference finals appearance. But let's see what they have to say in here and get my take.
Conversations that you have all the time, try and sort of assess where Kawhi belongs on the list of great players.
The load management will obviously be the issue, like Jay Will said, but I also got to give Kawhi credit, man. You look over his career, starting in San Antonio, the ability to morph into different roles. He was known as a stopper in San Antonio, got to a finals, defended well, but also got the finals MVP. And sometimes Jay Will knows this, you're insulated by being around other great guys. But Kawhi, you could say, took his role to another level and became one of the guys that you had to roll to another level and became one of the guys that you had to.
Yeah, for real, man. In 2013, 2014, Kawhi Leonard was not close to an all-star. He was a young cat around second or third season in the league and the fourth season as well. He was developing with the Spurs. We caught an eye on him during the 2013 finals that he could be a future all-star and a really bright young cat. Kind of the same way we saw Giannis in his first couple of years, kind of similar to that, but with Kawhi, we saw more of consistency in his game, letting alone having the experience with Popovich. But yeah, Kawhi Leonard, he really balled out and came out in the 2014 finals, really took the initiative to guard LeBron James, make him uncomfortable, let alone when it came to that team. He wasn't the, pretty much unanimous leader or the finals MVP when it comes to it. That pretty much 2014 team was a whole foundation of them together. There really was no main person or main player that pretty much led the way, and that's how the Spurs usually have always ran. But in the early years with Tim Duncan, he was the main reason, and they started to now, Tim Duncan knows his role. Ginobili, Popovich, Parker, now with Kawhi Leonard in the mix. He took on the defensive assignment, and he pulled up a couple games with 20 points. He only averaged 17 points a game that series. It's something to where it's a finals MVP to where it doesn't state that you're a star that led your team. But, he stepped up during those finals, so congrats to him. And then with Kawhi Leonard, whenever you had Tim Duncan pretty much leave the picture, or they're getting, much older. In 2016, Kawhi Leonard was the number one option and player foundation for the team. They had 67-15 record. That's when they were the second seed because the first seed were the Warriors at 73-9. But Kawhi Leonard, whenever he came as a number one option, he had the winning brand of basketball. They took the Warriors to the conference finals. They were blowing them out 20-something points around the first half or so. And then Zaza Pachulia pretty much got Kawhi Leonard injured for the rest of the series. But let alone, we've seen with Kawhi Leonard, he now has that winning DNA. He can take the pressure as the number one option. He's a different calming force. We saw with the Raptors, they're very chaotic, and there's a lot of confusion. There was no leadway as well as a leader. Kawhi Leonard actually got traded and joined that team, and you saw the demeanor of that team with Kyle Lowry so calm. And credit Nick Nurse as well. He definitely had that his say with Kawhi Leonard on the recipe for success. So now we have Kawhi joining the Clippers now, instant impact title favorites. So I see nothing but success for Kawhi. I think he'll finish his career with another finals appearance. I think in the next 3 seasons he'll get probably one championship in with the Clippers. If not, a finals appearance.
Move on and obviously in Toronto get a championship and carry that team. And I'm the first to say there's not an asterisk, but we also have to recognize that Golden State wasn't at full strength. With that being said, it's still an NBA champion.
Yo, listen. If Kevin Durant was healthy during that playoff series in the finals against the Toronto Raptors, that was going 7 games. The Warriors have never experienced a team throughout 2015 through 2019, a defensive team with length, and that can move the ball the way the Raptors did. They've always played against the Cavaliers in the finals, let alone in 2015. The Cavaliers were a defensive-minded team, which you have to give credit to them. The Warriors were still young, trying to figure out that big stage. But whenever it came to the following years with J.R. Smith and the crew, LeBron, they can care less about defense. It was an embarrassment on the Cavaliers side. With the Raptors, I knew this would be a close series, even without KD or not. The Raptors could win. I still had the Warriors. I didn't expect Klay Thompson to, get hurt Game 3 or Game 6. But with the Raptors, they had length and size. Think about a starting lineup. You have Kyle Lowry, who's a great second option, and he came up big those finals. Kudos to him. Danny Green, a perfect 3-and-D 2 guard for your team, shooting guard, around 6'4", 6'5". He has a championship under his belt. Then you have Kawhi Leonard, a perfect 3 on the team. Then you have Pascal Siakam, who's around 6'9", 6'10", a young stud who, whenever they come off any screens, they can switch. They have a bunch of length, as well as Marc Gasol, a perfect starting championship caliber center on your team. That team had length, they had size, and their bench was deep as well. You have OG Anunoby, Norman Powell, Fran VanVleet. You had Serge Ibaka, probably missing around 2-3 others on that team. So the Warriors had some trouble. They never saw a defensive assigned as well as a lengthy team as it was. With the Cavaliers and LeBron, they would play hero ball. It was very stagnant, very predictable on their offense. But with the Raptors, they played a team brand, and that's what caught the Warriors off guard.
And now with the Clippers, obviously what he's doing, averaging 20, almost 27 over the past 2 seasons. Here's the thing when it comes for me and Kawhi, because I hear these conversations all the time. To me, it's LeBron, the best player in the NBA. That's me. And then everybody goes Giannis, and I get it. Giannis is dominant. But as an individual, I'm going to pose this to you, Jay Will. If I'm taking a player, are you taking Kawhi or Giannis? Because I'm taking Kawhi.
Well, I don't know why any NBA fan or TV pundit would say that Giannis is a greater player or they would take him over Kawhi Leonard. We already seen last season when Kawhi Leonard took down Giannis in the conference finals, winning 4 straight, let alone winning the finals in general. Kawhi Leonard, he has a DNA brand of winning basketball, very similar to Michael Jordan. I get those vibes from him. I have trust for Kawhi Leonard. That's why the Clippers are pretty much the favorites in the Western Conference as it is as of right now. With Giannis, he's still young, 25 years of age. He's in that learning curve. I think Giannis will get to the finals because the Eastern Conference is very open, let alone Giannis has stepped up his game, and everything lines up for the Bucks to get there, which, they were close to getting there last season. But no, there's no way that Giannis, you would pick him over Kawhi Leonard to win a championship right here, right now. No way. Giannis still has another couple of seasons to learn. I think Giannis will get a championship appearance this season. I don't think he'll win a chip until he leaves Milwaukee, joins maybe the Miami Heat, as well as the Hawks or any other franchise like that, and probably be in 2023 or so that he'll win a chip. But Kawhi Leonard is right here, right now. I have the best player in the world right now, LeBron James. And I have Kawhi Leonard. They're neck and neck. They're 1A, 1B. If you go with Kawhi, if you go with LeBron, I don't have a problem with it. I think whoever wins this championship this season gets that crown, most definitely when it comes to it. But no, for sure, Kawhi Leonard's a better player and a greater player and a player to pick over Giannis. Giannis will have the accolades during the regular season. Players like LeBron and Kawhi, they know how to win. They pretty much, put their foot off the pedal. They kind of put on the brakes. They kind of load manage. They don't go hard every single night. They know what they're doing. Giannis is still young. He tries to get all the accolades, and hey, kudos to him. But whenever Giannis is older, he'll start to learn as well to save yourself for the playoffs and finals.
How many games are they healthy? And I asked you that because that's a factor that you have to factor into the equation, Marcus. Right? Is Kawhi healthy? If Kawhi is healthy, I'm going to take Giannis considering he's 25 years old for the future of my franchise.
No, I'm talking about winning this year. Right now, you want to win a championship this year. You want a healthy Kawhi or a healthy Giannis on your team to win a championship.
Oh, yeah, you go with Kawhi Leonard. Even if LeBron's in the picture with those three, I would still put Kawhi Leonard, no doubt about it. I have so much trust and faith with Kawhi. His brand of basketball is beautiful, let alone it's team-centric, and he knows how to finish in the clutch. And most definitely Kawhi Leonard, a two-way player overall, leading my team.
Yeah. Who else is on my team?
You're drafting players right now. You're starting a team.
It's not that black and white. I'm not going to let you guys take this conversation to us either this or that. There's so many other factors that go into that. I mean, if Kawhi also has Paul George on his team this year. So if Paul George, that's a different scenario if they're going against last year's Golden State Warriors. So I think there's still a lot of factors around that. It's just not, Giannis surrounded by the right people. I might take Giannis in some circumstances depending upon who's the personnel on my team.
Let me throw something fun in just for the heck of it, because I know he watches the show every morning. Good morning, Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley, when ESPN did their rankings of the top 100 players of all time, just a month or so ago, Charles Barkley was 23. Kawhi Leonard was 25. If he wins a championship, Marcus, this year, does he surpass Barkley? Does he move ahead of Barkley on the all-time list of great players?
Wow. The fact they put Giannis over Allen Iverson and John Stockton, that's crazy. Listen, I already have my top 10 players of all time list. I pretty much have stated it. I'll need to make another video going more in depth of that, let alone pushing the list out to top 15, 20, 25, and 30. But listen, Kawhi Leonard, and I've stated this, for me right now, he's a top 20 player of all time. You have to put him over. I would put him over Kevin Garnett. I don't know why Kevin Garnett's around 20 as of right now. Kawhi Leonard has won 2 championships. His first championship wasn't really. It wasn't as a number one option. It was just more kind of not a side piece. It's a weird way to kind of mention his first championship. He won Finals MVP. There wasn't a clear-cut superstar on the team, so that's kind of like a kind of a side. But whenever it comes to the Toronto Raptors, he was the number one option. When it comes to that, I'm putting him as a top 20 player of all time. Let's kind of see this list right here. So Elgin Baylor, he lost 8 finals, never even won a championship. I would put Kawhi over him. Listen, this is a reason why people don't put Kawhi as high as he is. People look at stats, MVPs, individual accolades. Kawhi Leonard is a different breed. We've never seen a player who has 2 championships with, let alone, such little points scored in the history of his career as of right now, let alone no MVPs. Kawhi Leonard's a different cat. He knows how to play the winning game. He doesn't need to worry about individual regular season accolades like MVPs. He has a couple Defensive Player of the Year awards, so kudos to him. He's starting to finally get consistent on All-Star appearances. I think this is his 4th or 5th as of right now. But Kawhi Leonard with 2 championships, let alone that one with Toronto, he's definitely better over than Giannis. Giannis should not be 27 right now. He's only won 1 regular season MVP, maybe a second, but let alone he needs to get to a finals.
He won't move past Barkley. I mean, his accomplishments obviously has.
Listen, Kawhi Leonard will finish over Charles Barkley on the all-time rankings. Barkley doesn't have a championship. I know he went, against Michael Jordan, but Kawhi Leonard, he went over against the Golden State Warriors, and Kawhi has actually shown and proven he can be an impact player. He can be the number one option for any franchise, and he's, trending to win his 3rd championship with their 3rd different franchise. So Kawhi Leonard is definitely over Charles Barkley. And again, I know a lot of cats are going to get mad about that because he doesn't have the accolades. And Kawhi Leonard started to blossom around his 5th season as a true all-star type player. So you got to give Kawhi Leonard a couple more years. He's going to rack up some more, individual accolades. Individual accolades are second and third on my list. Number one is how many championships did you lead your team to win? And Kawhi Leonard has that winning DNA.
He has to do it longer. To Jay's point, the load management, but
Yeah, exactly. Like these cats are talking about he has to do it longer. Longer for what? I mean, Kawhi Leonard, he won 2 championships in 5 seasons, and you expect him to play around 13, 15 seasons? Like that's the logic I don't get when it comes to some of these cats. Kawhi Leonard can get it done very quickly and now, and possibly he's going to win another championship. I think the Lakers will. I think it's LeBron's time, but he's trending to it.
Jay, we can caveat and we can talk about things, but as an individual basketball player, are you taking Kawhi or are you taking Giannis?
Individual basketball player, I'm taking Kawhi Leonard. Both sides of the floor. Giannis is still lacking on his pull-up jumper, let alone his three-pointer. It's kind of getting there. It's a weird motion how he shoots it. I don't trust him like that. With Giannis, I trust him going, driving to the basket. I don't trust him on his free throws. I somewhat trust him in the clutch, only to get to the rim, but I still not with that. Defensively, Giannis is there at the rim. I trust Kawhi Leonard defensively, offensively, in the clutch, free throws, leading my team to a championship, and let alone Kawhi Leonard beat Giannis Antetokounmpo down 0-2 in the conference finals. Kawhi's a different breed, a different tier when it comes to Giannis. Giannis is a regular season player because he can rack up MVP awards, let alone, demolish the regular season, a couple of these, teams and such. Kawhi Leonard knows what he's doing. He's just riding the wave till it comes to the finals.
Who are you taking, Jay Will? I don't care about who he's surrounded with. Who's the best individual basketball player?
I feel like fanboy Jay Williams is about to throw in KD in there.
Who has a better skill set? I'll go with Kawhi. Kawhi has a better
Who's the better
overall skill set
player?
than Giannis. But
There's your win.
well, that's what a better player means. It means skill set.
No, sir. No, better player does not mean skill set. You can have the IQ. You can be able to have athleticism. You can be able to have many other different variables when it comes to it. But I know what Jay's doing. He's trying to play the political game of not picking A or B because, if he's having interviews with these guys or if he's cool with them, wants to bring an impression as well as, stature to his name. So it is what it is. But overall, Kawhi Leonard, he doesn't have anything to lose. If he loses in the conference finals, I think in the finals, you have to get it done with because, like Michael Jordan or anyone in the finals, you're a star. Everyone always pinpoints those finals losses at you. But I think if he loses in the conference finals, nothing to bat an eye at. He just came off, a finals MVP and a championship. When it comes to him or Giannis, Kawhi Leonard most definitely is the better player and the greater player as of right now. I think in the next 2 to 3 seasons, Giannis is going to be able to take the league by storm as the best player in the NBA. I think he's going to have the aspirations to win a championship, the finals experience, the playoff experience. He's going to develop his jumper in his game. And he's around 25 years of age. Whenever Giannis is 28 in his peak, watch out.